Dorset Police and West Mercia Police seem to care more about their workforce than they care about investigating and solving crimes, according to a new report from the HMICFRS. Okay, that's not the words they use. I'm kind of reading between the lines, but you can make up your own mind as to whose description is more accurate. HMICFRS have been investigating the force and the way it investigates crimes. They say that Dorset Police Force's performance in some areas had fallen in its recent Peel report, adding that the way Dorset Police investigated crime requires improvement, as well as how it deals with the public. HMICFRS graded 8 areas of Dorset Police, of which the inspectorate graded the force good in just 2 of them, which were preventing crime and antisocial behaviour and building support and protecting its workforce. Now, preventing crime and antisocial behaviour, I'm working on something at the moment. I've done freedom of information requests to every single police force, okay, in the country, asking them since the 1st of the 1st, 2022, how many dispersal orders have been put in place. In other words, when the police go, oh, we think there's going to be people meeting in cars, or we think there's going to be a situation that's going to cause annoyance to people in the area, so they put a dispersal order around an entire part of the city or village or whatever it might be, which means that they can tell anybody in that area for a period of 24 hours to piss off. Now that in itself is going to prevent crime, okay, because they're in an area where they can send police, they can flood police to that area, okay, make it look like they're doing something good, flood police to the area and literally stop anybody they want, okay. Now, I've already seen some of the results of my freedom of information request, and the amount of dispersal orders have been put in place by some police forces in the last, 4 months, and it's shocking the amount of times this dispersal order has been abused, okay, but we'll get to that in due course when I've received all of the results. But that is going to prevent crime and antisocial behaviour. That's the whole purpose of them. But it's an abuse of a procedure that's doing it, not the police's policing actions. Wendy Williams of the HMICFRS said that I am pleased with some aspects of the performance of Dorset Police in keeping people safe and reducing crime, but there are areas where it needs to improve. Despite the oversight of senior leaders and welcome initiatives to protect the most vulnerable, the force needs to better meet the needs of victims when responding to and investigating crimes. There is a better understanding of the reasons for disparities when searching people and using force, but there needs to be continued focus on this area. The force has improved its efforts on managing offenders and suspects. I am also pleased with the force's efforts to improve its capacity and capability to investigate online sexual offending, but reassurance is needed that sufficient long-term provision is in place so that investigations are timely and children remain safe. Chief Constable Scott Chilton said, I'm pleased, fucking pleased. I wouldn't be pleased if 2 out of 8 were classed as good and the rest clearly are shit. Chief Constable Scott Chilton said, I am pleased that the inspectors have acknowledged the work we've delivered in relation to preventing and proactively tackling crime and antisocial behaviour, as well as our efforts to work alongside partner agencies to challenge the issues that matter the most to our communities. The election took place at one of the most difficult times in Dorset Police's history, not only for our organisation, but also our communities. Nice to see the Chief Constable hasn't missed an opportunity to slip an excuse in there. This included the tricky period through the COVID-19 pandemic. Look, the only people that had a tricky period through the COVID-19 pandemic were members of the public. I fucking hate it when the police try and make out it was hard for them. Crime rates fell. With less people on the street, you had it easy, which is why you spent so much time, not just you, but every police force spent so much time targeting individuals going for a walk. It is reassuring that the suggested areas of improvement were already part of an ongoing programme of work to improve the service we provide to our communities. We are also making significant investment in our public contact systems, with a commitment to reduce call times and respond to incidents quicker. This will also mean that we can easily identify vulnerable repeat callers and provide the right training to ensure staff give appropriate advice on the preservation of evidence and crime prevention. So you're making significant improvements to your public contact centres. Where exactly are you finding the money from for that? Considering you're spending an undisclosed amount on your new headquarters, which no doubt will be multi-million pounds worth. And the fact the local authority are skimming money off of people's council tax by paying themselves exorbitant wages. Perhaps you should spend some time investigating the council for potential fraud offences. Maybe if you stopped wasting money and investigated the council, then you could afford more feet on the street. More feet on the street equals a reduction in crime. A reduction in crime equals more time to investigate. More time to investigate equals more cases solved. More people reunited with their property, and more people seeing justice for crimes committed against them, and more people safeguarded. As for West Mercia Police, they too have been told to improve when it comes to investigating crime and responding to the public. The inspectors concluded that many of West Mercia Police's serious investigations are inadequately supervised and not sufficiently effective, meaning a poor service for some victims of crime. Several departments within the force reported understaffing, something which can affect workplace well-being and also result in poor service for victims. Unreliable IT systems were found to lead to inefficient working practices and the ability of to affect the quality and accuracy of the force's data and management reports. This means that the force has a poor understanding of its demand in some notable areas, such as its response times. Wendy Williams said while she is satisfied with some aspects of the performance of West Mercia Police, there are areas which need improvement. There are still improvements needed, particularly in crime investigation and public protection. Despite the force's efforts to improve, too many of its serious investigations are inadequately supervised and not sufficiently effective. This is resulting in a poor service to some victims of crime. West Mercia Chief Constable Pippa Mills accepted the findings and said work had begun to improve areas criticised. She said, "We agree with HMICFRS's assessment and that we still need to do more to improve supervision of investigations and the quality and consistency of updating victims. Improvement work has already begun and is progressing at pace. This includes a focus on the standard of investigations and providing a better service to victims through improved and meaningful contact. It was recognised in the report that we answer our emergency calls promptly, but more can be done to ensure each victim is provided appropriate advice. We agree that our technology and use of data needs improvement. We are on track to deliver an investment programme to modernise our digital service and the way that we use data to keep the public safe." She added, "The report highlighted our innovative preventative approach to preventing crime and antisocial behaviour across the force to keep our communities safe. We have trained 16 early intervention and prevention officers to work with various partners to safeguard vulnerable people. Our local police and community charter has improved our engagement and helps deliver the service our communities expect and rightly deserve. Since arriving in West Mercia Police in September, I've focused on making sure we work more efficiently and effectively. I'm proud of the people that make up West Mercia Police and their commitment to providing a quality policing service that protects people from harm." I still can't believe or understand how after decades of policing, forces across the country are still unable to effectively do the job that they're there to do. Utterly amazing. Big thank you to channel supporters, especially these guys. Your support is truly appreciated. Don't forget to like, share, comment and subscribe. Let me know your thoughts, as I know many of you will. And until next time, stay safe, look after each other, film the police and other officials.